What's going on, everybody? It is U-Turn Crowbat here, and you are watching U-Turn Central. Now, I am bringing you another Wi-Fi battle, this time against Zane, once again. Now, before we get started, please make sure you go into the description, make sure you click on the links for the Pokemon group, show Poketown plenty of love, I'm sure they're gonna need it, and I'm sure they're gonna love it. So, let's get this thing going. It's gonna be a relatively long battle, but it is a great battle. Now, this battle is against Zane. I'm sure you guys are well familiar with Zane by now. He is the leader for a Pokemon group that isn't in my description. He is a leader for Pokemon X and Y Journey to be the very best. So he ends up going out into his Gengar, his Mega Gengar, and I end up going out into my Espeon. I keep wanting to say switch out, but no, I don't switch out. I go out into my Espeon because I know I am part psychic. I am actually psychic. So I'm thinking, you know, I can maybe just hit this thing with a psychic and that'll be awesome. But while I'm thinking about that, you know, I just want to get my screens up because I know that I'm going to need them. So I end up, you know, getting my screens up, which is awesome. And he does hit me with a Shadow Ball, which does not take me out. It only leaves me at 90 HP, which is pretty good for me. And I end up getting my second screen off, my Reflect. Now, I know that he is behind a sub, and that's just dead awful. It's not great for me at all. He hits me with another Shadow Ball, and he is able to take me out. Now, I wasn't really expecting to live that. All I wanted to do was get my subs, not my subs, all I wanted to do was get my screens up. So, I ended up switching out into my Porygon 2, and I kind of want to, you know, just destroy this substitute, because, well, it's rather getting annoying. So, he hits me with a Sludge Bomb, and it doesn't do too much to me at all. And, unfortunately, though, he does get the poison off. Now, there's really not too much I can really do. It's not like I can really recover from that. But I do use a T-Bolt, and I do destroy the sub. Now, I know that Gengar is damaged by thunder, or electric moves, so that's where I was going. I was gonna try and hit him with a Thunderbolt. Now, his Mega Gengar does use Destiny Bond, and if I faint, then this Gengar faints, then I will faint. But I know I'm poisoned, so I kind of want to try and stay away from that. So I switch out because I don't want my Porygon going down right this second. So I end up going into my Jellicent because I'm thinking maybe if he hits me with a certain move, maybe, you know, that move will get disabled. But he hits me with a Sludge Bomb, and it's a crit, of course. And so his Sludge Bomb does get disabled, which is amazing. Now, he ends up hitting my Jellicent with a Shadow Ball, and that also doesn't really do too much. I mean, it's leaving me pretty damaged there. But I end up using Hex because I know that Gengar is weak to Ghost moves. And I end up taking the Mega Gengar out, which is awesome. That's exactly what I wanted to do. I wish I would have done it earlier, but I didn't, unfortunately. So he ends up switching out into he ends up going out into a Shiny Dragonite. And the Dragonite decides that he wants to use Outrage. So he ends up using Outrage on my Jellicent, leaving me at 23 HP when I use my Recover, which is amazing because I did not want my Jellicent going down right that second. And if I leave my Jellicent in, I'm hoping, I'm thinking, I'm praying that this Dragonite will hit me and be disabled because of my Cursed Body. Now, he ends up hitting me with another Outrage, leaving me at 55 HP, and I use Recover again because I'm thinking at this point, if he keeps using Outrage, he will, you know, get confused. And so that's what I was kind of planning on. Now, for the third or fourth time, he uses Outrage again, and this time just nearly destroys my Jellicent. Now, he ends up, you know, becoming confused, and that's awesome for me. And while I still live, just barely with a hair, I am able to get the Toxic off on the Dragonite, which is amazing because now the Toxic is just gonna wear this Dragonite down more than ever. So I end up switching out into my Sylveon because, well, Dragon versus Fairy. Come on, guys, come on, get with the program. And he ends up using the Extreme Speed, which does not do anything to me at all because, like I keep saying, I am very bulky, and I do have the left use recovery, which is awesome. So he does get hurt by the poison, and he does withdraw because he does not want this Dragonite going down. Now, he ends up going into his Blissey. I have nothing to say. I have nothing to say to the Blissey because I have nothing to say. It's a Blissey. It's gonna be so defensive. So don't ask me really why I went into my Hyper Beam. I mean, it's not like any of my moves can really do anything to Blissey anyways. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Nothing. Nothing. And look at that. Toxic. It poisons my Sylveon. Look at that. Look at that. So, he ends up getting the Toxic off, and he does get recovered from his lefties. Now, while I get hurt from the poison, I'm thinking I don't want to really stay in. None of my moves can do anything, but I am forced to stay in because of my Hyper Beam, and I have to recharge. Now, he ends up using the his Ice Beam. Now, I'm sure he knew it wasn't going to do much, so I'm not really sure why he really used it, but yeah, I'm not really sure why, but I mean, I guess I did a little bit more than what I wanted, but it wasn't bad at all anyways. So I switched out because I don't want my Sylveon going down. Now, if I left it in, it would have been going down a lot faster with the poison. Now, I switch out into my Braviary because I do want to try and get a Brave Bird off or two. He goes into his Arcanine, and I would just want to either use my Bulk Up or just try and Brave Bird. He uses the Thunder Fang, though, and he does not take my Braviary out, which is awesome, but he does get the flinch off. And I switch out because I know that if I stay in, he'll use another Thunder Fang and just take out my Braviary. I switch into my Nidoking, predicting another Thunder Fang, and it does not do anything to me at all. So he switches out, predicting possibly an Earthquake. He goes out into the Vivillon, but I predicted he was going to go into some Flying type or something, so I end up using my Sludge Wave because I knew he was going to do something. I knew he was going to predict an Earthquake, so I ended up taking the Vivillon out with my Sludge Wave. He ends up going into his Blastoise, and I switch out because I am weak to water and I am weak to ice, so I don't want to take any of those at all. So I end up switching out into my Porygon 2. Even though it is poisoned, I can take some of his attacks. Now, at this rate, you know, I can take some attacks, but I am getting worn down from the Toxic. A lot more than what I want. Now, I am weak to fighting, so I'm kind of glad that the Blastoise does use the Aura Sphere on my Porygon just to kind of take it out, or just barely take it out, because, you know, I don't really want to stay in too awful long, but I end up using the cover only because I'm thinking I can get this Blastoise with a an electric move if I'm able to get my HP up, but unfortunately I'm not. And because he keeps using Aura Sphere, and I keep getting hurt from the Toxic, that's why I'm not able to really make my plan work. Now, I end up going down to the Poison right there, which is fine, because at that rate, there's really no saving my Porygon. Now, my only question is, how am I going to take out the Blastoise? So I end up switching out into my Braviary, which is weak to water, mind you, but I go out into my Substitute because I just want to... I didn't really want to take any attacks. Now, even though my Substitute did get damage, I just wanted to try and outspeed this Blastoise with the Brave Bird. So I end up using the Brave Bird, and I do end up taking out the Blastoise. I was kind of scared at that point because none of my other Pokemon can really take any of its attacks, surprisingly. Because the Blastoise didn't know Ice Beam, some of my Pokemon can't really take that. So I leave my Braviary in because he did his job. He took out the Blastoise, which is what I wanted. Now, the Dragonite is still getting damaged by the poison, and at that point, I just want to switch into my Jellicent because I'm thinking maybe as either he does get his moves do get disabled, or I'll just sack it off. Now, I do sack off my Jellicent, which is what I wanted. Now, I was thinking at that point, hopefully his Outrage would become disabled, but as you can see, it didn't. But he does get hurt from the poison, and he is confused, which is awesome. Now, I end up going into my Nidoking, taking a risk there because some Dragonites do know Ice Beam. So I end up going into my Nidoking, and he goes out into his Blissey. Now, none of my attacks can really do anything. I use my Ice Beam because I was not predicting him to switch out. Now, as you can see, it did nothing! It did nothing to the Blissey! Nothing! So, I want to try and do something to this Blissey. I mean, Jesus, man. I ended up using my Sludge Wave simply because I wanted to try and get the poison off. But even if I did, he would just withdraw, and the Blissey would just recover itself. So there's really no point. Oh, Jesus. So I switched out into my Sylveon because there's nothing I can do with my Nidoking. There's nothing I can do with my Sylveon. Something maybe, it'd be best if I just leave my Sylveon in to try and do something to the Blissey. Now, I was predicting him to kind of use a Toxic, but I'm not really sure why he tried using a Toxic on my Nidoking. My Nidoking, as far as I know, it's not affected by any Toxic or anything, or any poison moves. So I switched out into my Sylveon, and as you can see, the Toxic doesn't do anything. So he ends up using the Ice Beam on my Sylveon, which does not do anything to me at all. Now, I do get my Lefty's recovery, which is awesome, but at this point, it's just going to become a stallish battle, and that's just, that's awful. I mean, that's what I'm thinking anyways. So I ended up going down more to the Toxic. I ended up using my Moonblast because my Moonblast won't do anything, but I wanted to try and get, I think it was the defense or the attack drop. I'd have to double check on that, but I end up getting my wish, and I do get I get all the HP recovery and plus the lefties. So I'm perfectly fine right now, except for the fact that I am poisoned. Now, there's nothing at all I can do to this Blissey. There's nothing I can do. I have my Sylveon in, and none of my attacks can do anything. So I switch out into my Nidoking, and because I was thinking maybe I can just poison this thing, he switches out into his Arcanine though, and I'm thinking, what moves can I do? Is he gonna stay in, or is he gonna switch out? He uses the Flamethrower, and luckily for me, it does not. The Flamethrower doesn't do too much. I mean, he does get me down pretty good, but I end up taking his Arcanine out with Earth Power, which is a ground move. So he switches out into his Dragonite, and he does use the Extreme Speed, and he just wrecks my Nidoking, just takes him out. Now at this point, there's really nothing I can really do. Simply because his Dragonite is still living, and his Blissey is still around. So I go out into my Sylveon, because at this rate, guys, there's nothing I can do. He goes out and uses his Extreme Speed, which does not do too much to my Sylveon at all. I use my Draining Kiss, and I do get his Dragonite, a lot lower. So I do get some HP back, but he does use the Citrus, and he does get all that HP back. Now, oh, his Enigma Berry. I am sorry, when I watched this, I could have sworn it was a Citrus. Sorry, guys. But I do get my Lefty's recovery while he's still getting attacked by the poison. And while I am going to be getting attacked with the poison, I'm just kind of thinking, what can I do? I mean, like, seriously. So I end up getting the wish off, and because I don't really want my Sylveon to go down to a Dragonite, but I do get some Lefty's recovery while he does get taken down a lot more to the poison. As you can see, I do the same, and there's really not much I can really do because Sylveon was my last Pokemon. So I end up using my Moonblast, and I do take out the Dragonite there. Now, he does have one more Pokemon left. Guess who it is, guys? Guess who it is? So, I do get my wish, and I do get my Lefty's recovery. And I do get all the HP back. Not that it really matters, because as you can see, I just lose that much more HP to Toxic. So, he ends up switching out into his Blissey because, well, that's what he had to do. That's what he had to do. So, of course, he used a Soft Boil. And I was actually talking to him while we were battling, and I was like, when he used Soft Boil, I was like, was that really necessary? Was that really necessary? I don't think so. So, I am getting hurt with the poison, and I do use Moonblast because, well, at this point, why not? There's nothing I can do. So, the Blissey does use Ice Beam on my Sylveon, and it leaves me at 54 HP, and I do get my Wish off, but not that it really matters because the longer I leave my Sylveon in, the faster my Sylveon will get taken out with the Toxic. So it doesn't really matter if I get all that HP back. At some point, my Sylveon will go down to Poison. I mean, as you can see, I lose all that HP. So, I end up using Hyper Beam because, one, I just don't really want to be in this battle anymore. It's just taking longer than what I planned. And two, I guess there's only one because it's not like my Hyper Beam can really hurt this Blissey. So, I end up getting my left ear's recovery, and my Toxic is just gonna wipe me off right now. And that's what I planned on. I planned on getting my HP down and just getting taken out. Now, even though I do get my left ear's recovery over here, it doesn't matter. It does not matter, guys. Watch this, watch. Oh! Oh, I get taken out. I get taken out with the Toxic. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed watching my Sylveon going down to Toxic. Hell, I sure did. That was a great battle, Zane. Actually, I'm gonna let you guys in on a little secret just between you and me. Just between you and me. Zane, his real name is Genesis. Now, while I was talking to him, I was asking him, you know, can I just say your real name? Does it matter? He said no. So, Zane, aka Genesis, is the leader of the Pokemon group Pokemon X and Y Journey to be the very best, which by the way, guys, is in the description. So, you should click on the little arrow there while you're watching the video, and you should find the link for Journey to be the very best, click on it, and go visit Genesis, because he, well, you should battle him. He's a great battler. He does run a gym there, so you should check him out. You should check out the page. Make sure you give that page plenty of love, and make sure you go check out Poketown. Make sure you give Poketown plenty of love. I'm sure they will love that. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the battle. Don't forget, guys, RCS, rate, comment, subscribe. Have a great day. Take care. Peace.